Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Self-Service Business Intelligence. My name is Craig Abramson. I'm the Marketing Director at Third Wave, and presenting today will be our COO, Mark Bresnak. We are using the GoToWebinar platform, so if you have any questions during the presentation, please enter them on the panel on the right side, and we'll leave time at the end for a Q&A session. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Mark Bresnak.
Thank you, Craig. Welcome to our webinar today on self-service. Again, my name is Mark Bresnak. Here's our agenda for today. I'm going to introduce Third Wave and Board also real quickly, and then I'm going to show you how Board works and some of the problems it solves. And then we'll actually do a demonstration on some reporting, and then briefly see some prepackaged information that we put together around an ERP system for Board. So, again, who are we? We are Third Wave Business Systems. We've been serving small, medium businesses since 1993. We specialize in ERP solutions and business intelligence. And my name, again, is Mark Bresnak. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Third Wave. I'm leading the Board initiative here. And I've been in the computer industry and technology and around finances for the last 25 years. So I've seen a lot, big, small companies, and hopefully I can bring some of that experience to this presentation today. So we have, between our customers and our partners' customers, we get to talk to hundreds of folks a year. And here's the situation that we see. Businesses require information to work efficiently, right? And that information could be sales, it could be financials, it could be a lot of different things. But that information is often buried in an ERP system, CRM system, or it's in such large volumes of data that it's not information anymore, it's just data, and it's hard to discern what that information is. Again, because we serve small, medium businesses, technical resources are usually scarce. They're expensive, and a lot of times they don't speak the same language as the business person who's trying to get the information out of the system that they need. So what we're seeing also is that there's a need to look at not only trends, long-term trends, but when you see a diversion of that trend or a blip or a dip, you need to be able to drill down and understand those details. So what's the impact? Well, the impact on those needs and those needs not being met is that business people are forced to make assumptions, right? And when I say business people, I mean usually folks that are either line of business owners, CFOs, CEOs, chief salesperson, managing partners. It doesn't really matter, but those are the folks that would like information, or either thinking about starting a new business, doing a new product, starting a new line of business, I should say, and doing things, and they're trying to understand where they are financially, what they've done in the past, and they're making some assumptions based on either their memory or something else. And because they do that, the results are usually not predictable. Sometimes the assumptions are wrong. So if you're making an assumption on a product that you think is a great big seller in a certain industry and you don't have the numbers to back it up, you make the wrong assumption, you spend money marketing there, buy lists, whatever you end up doing, and you don't get the result you'd like. Again, another impact, time and money is wasted making poor decisions or trying to find the answers, spending money on crystal reports and people digging into your data that may not understand the data as well as you do, may not understand how your customers are segmented or how your channels are segmented. Lastly, and this is the one we see all the time, decisions are made with low confidence, causing procrastination, indecisiveness, and basically what the business owners or the person looking for that data are is they're just waiting, because the longer they wait, the more information they get, the better they think they're going to make a decision. But that being said, what really leads to is lost opportunities. And sometimes it's apparent that the opportunity is lost, sometimes it's not as apparent. So the resolution. Again, without talking about anything, the resolution that we see that helps folks the most is we gather disparate information and try to put it in one place. We allow the resources that need the information. So if you're a line of business person and you're looking at the products you represent or the segment of the market you represent, get access to that information that pertains to your part of the business. Every company has what I call a knowledge worker or set of knowledge workers, and those are people that understand the business and are looking for the data and either presenting that information to management or our management in order to create goals and key performance indicators. And one of the biggest things that we see, that's required in a resolution is speed, the speed of the time to value. If you say, okay, this is great, I want to do this today, and it's 3 months from now or 6 months from now or even 6 weeks from now before you can start to see these things, and then that doesn't really help you right now. You need something quick and something that can be done in short order. So part of that resolution is a product called Board that we use and we sell to the marketplace. So what is Board? Well, Board's a software product that unifies business intelligence and performance management into one environment. And those are, that's a mouthful, but basically what people use Board for is a variety of different things. And the good news is it's one product, and you only have to buy one product, and you get all of these things if you want out of them. So it's everything from dashboarding, what am I doing today, how does it work, and we'll see a little bit of that, to the ability to budget and plan and forecast. Financial consolidation. So if you have multiple financial organizations, maybe under multiple ERP packages, you could pull those together and understand how the entity as a whole is performing. Profitability modeling and optimization. So looking at what you're doing and where you're perhaps wasting money. We use it for strategic management a lot. When we put out a strategically new product or we look for anything that we want to do strategically around changing our business, we measure it with Board. At any given time, people want to analyze and simulate what could happen, right? So there's some trending. If the trend continues the way it is now, what's the revenue going to be? Trend continues the way it is now, what's the quantity sales going to be? Those types of things. Any kind of reporting and data exploration, again, is all part of the Board package. Well, how does it work? Well, real quickly, without getting too technical, there is a bunch of data sources out there, and they could be anything from your ERP package to databases to other cube technology that's out there to even spreadsheets. And it allows you to pull them into one place under the Board server and then be able to, and that's called like an extract and load and translate process. And what that does is it allows you to put that data out there in terms that business people understand and that they can start to manipulate themselves. So you'll see things like annual sales, quantity of sales, channel, customer, and the things that that are not table names and things that are in SQL Server that make it really hard to extract that data out. Once it's in there, you can build custom screens and then allow them to manipulate those screens and also allow them to pin those to a pin board so that this way they can come back and look at that view in the future. That being said, the customers can also look at it using the Board client, which we'll see today, a web page that comes with Board. There's Office add-ins that we'll show you today also, and then there's the ability to use it in tablets that they've come out with recently. So I don't think I have any more slides. I'm going to go right into demonstration. And we'll talk about Board. So here's that sales reporting demo application. And basically, how great would it be for you to be able to pull up a dashboard about your business, look at the regional analysis of sales, customer analysis, maybe your sales team performance, product analysis, the sales performance as a whole, and then have a place to be able to do some ad hoc analysis. And basically, I'll jump into one of them, but I'll kind of bring you through a story of the regional analysis that once you can start to understand, and I apologize for some of the dates are a little old in this. This is 2013. But basically what this would allow you to do is on one screen do a variety of different things, right? So across the top I can drill down in dates, and I can pick, multiple dates, and or I could look at my sales team. I could look at it by quarter, which is here. And these little sparkle charts are pretty neat because can actually show you the dollar amounts. That starts off at $245,000 and changes from there. And then from here we could look at the different regions and the different products in those regions, and everything from variance to sales to what we budgeted for sales to the difference in what they are, and we can look at them all across the board. You can also put these visual cues here, where what's green is good, red is bad, and you can start to be able to look into that. So you'll see, like in this red, there's a some negative variances, between actuals versus budget and percent-wise. So you can start to see and draw your eye to those things. You can also see if it's broken up in this area, what it looks like compared to the previous year. 2% higher, 9% higher, 11% higher. And the great part about this is I can drill down into everything. So if I wanted to understand what's going on in the north, these are all the things I can actually drill down for. So what am I selling project class-wise in the north? Drill down by quarter, and it shows me here's all the different classes. So I apologize. This is class A, B, C, D. Let's see if the layout gives us something better here. The description, I think it all might be the same. Yeah, A, B, C, D. So that's not very helpful, but so if I wanted to drill down, I can also drill down here by instead of product group, product class, I could do the product group, and we can look down in that. And what this does is it shows me creams and the effects and the different product groups that we have. Again, the same types of data and the same charts that exist in that area also. Again, by region, if I wanted to click down and look into any of these, I could certainly click down and look into any of these and look at what's going on in those areas by zone, and look at what the sales amount and the sales previous year amount were and the differences. So everything here has the ability to drill down and look at it. And again, here's all the visual cues you have. So if we're looking at different things and I'm saying, that's interesting, let me see how my salesperson Grady's doing. I just drill down, and I'm only using Grady as my example, and I'm saying, okay, well, he's not doing too good here. These two are not even in his territory, but these different areas he's not doing that great on. And it shows me a bunch of different things. So he's doing, he has one region that he's killing it on, and then the rest is he's kind of just going down the middle of the road. So if I wanted to go back and say, all right, so now based on that, let me go look at my salesperson performance. And now I can look, so all my salespeople are across the top, and here's all different, areas. So here's cash and carry, and the budget versus actual. So that looks like he's doing very well in that area. Indirect sales, he looks like he's doing pretty well also. And as I go down, I can say, well, look at in this other category, he's not doing so good. So those are areas that we need to kind of look at and drill down. So I can look down and say, all right, I can, what products is he doing well in? Let me see if, pick a product and see how he's doing in that particular product. And if I wanted to go back and put this back to everybody, I can see how he's doing compared to everybody else. So this allows me to not only, look at one person or a group of people, but I can also look, again, quantity, by territory, and then certainly drill down by the product groups themselves and the salespeople themselves. Additionally, if I wanted to see, what my customers were doing, there's some customer analysis I can pull in place and see, who my good customers were by which channel, and we can see that the cream channel is doing, okay. Sundries channel has the highest numbers, $600,000. And we can look at each of these customers. And so now here's my customers in the retail space. If I wanted to see what Gray LTD was actually buying from me, I can come back here and I can pick the product. And I can see that these are the products that he's buying from me, and here's the numbers around those products. So again, to get back to having that data in areas that people can actually look for and look at gives me the ability to self-serve as an executive of a company, or like I said, as a knowledge worker that wants to prepare and present this to people. And it's all in business terms that we wanted to see. So the neat thing about this, if I wanted to just do quarter one, I could just highlight and drag and drop, and now I'm down to quarter one. And I can, once I finish with quarter one, I can look at, quarter by quarter. I can come over and highlight the next quarter, quarter two, and we can look at it, or by month. And I can certainly drill down into any of these different areas. So here's, and anytime I want to drill down, if I wanted to see what the good months or the bad months were, I could pick the months and the time entities, and I can, pull up that data into that area, when it was sold and what are the quantities and the percentages versus budget. So one-stop shopping, I can certainly, if I wanted to, I could certainly put security in that when I log in, if I only have certain, like I showed you earlier, Grady only has certain territories. Maybe there's no reason for him to see the other territories, and he can come in and we can block him from seeing any other territories, only his own. So this region list would be smaller for him. And so, and if you wanted to look at any of these again in a different way, you can. Everything on Inboard gives you the ability to drill down. So if I want to see what was in this one chart by product, I could certainly do that also and see what the sales revenue is on that product. And those are all the products. That's the sales amounts, indirect sales, and here's a variance year over year. So again, you have the ability to look at this data in a separate way. One other thing I want to show you on this screen is, actually I'll pick a different screen to show it to you on. Let's see. So let's go to ad hoc performance and see if there's a way that we can do some ad hoc performance. If you wanted to look at any ad hoc screens, we could have the ability to pull some ad hoc information in. So if you wanted to see, all things for months, you could certainly come into here and drill down. We have the year picked, which is 2011. So let's pick 2000. This is all the years picked. I'm going to pick 2013, just because that's what the data is. I can come to layout if I want, and I can change any of these things. If I have it right now by division, by product group, if I wanted to do it by division, by salesman, I could certainly do that. Just click OK, and the data reflects it in that. Once I have the data the way I want it, another interesting thing that a board allows you to do is export this to Excel. And what you'll see is Excel blinks down here, and the data's here. And I'm going to make this all a little bigger. What this allows me to do is come in here, and there's a board add-in for board, and I can connect, and I can manipulate the data and look at the data here inside of Excel if that's my tool of choice. So I would log in, and I would have the same permissions as I would have as if I was in the board software itself. But this brings that data in place, and people use this as kind of their tool of choice to view the data, manipulate the data, maybe do some metrics or whatever outside of the system if that's what they chose to do. I highly recommend doing it all inside of board, though, because once you publish it once, then everybody can have it. So if I took this choice here and I wanted it, I can come here and I can add it to my cart. Once I add it to my cart, I give it a name, ad hoc. Ad hoc view. Oh my goodness. Okay, and now if I ever want to get back to it, I can come here, and my ad hoc view here is my creams are there, and I can look at all different things that I've saved in the past. I can also use pin boards to pull all these things together, and I do have a pin board here in place to be able to show you. And basically what this allows me to do is to put these pin boards in place of different things that I'd like to see. So here's my top customers, here's by quarter, here's some customers by date, and I can do all kinds of different pin boards here that allow me to look at the data that is specific to me, and anybody can do this. Even the lowest level user can have these pin boards that have only views just for them. I'm going to jump out of here. I'm not going to save it. So this is a quick example of building some, having the ability to build dashboards and things like that that'll allow you to publish information and give the people at your organization the data it needs. These are sales. Again, if you wanted to do all the sales and the growth, and once you click on these, it tells you what the growth and the margins are by customer, by territory. This can tell you, high level what your margins are. Again, gives you all the drill down capabilities you had before. Here's your sales folks and the sales this year versus last year. So this is a quick dashboard if you want to look at being a sales manager or even a CEO. How am I doing in sales? And having one place to look at it. So that being said, I'm going to jump out of this part of it. I'm going to show you a 2-minute thing that we've done, we being Third Wave have done on the capsules. And basically what this allows us to do is build a different type of financial version of what you just saw now, where we can do things like budgeting and look at the financials in a consolidated way, look at the inventory and drill down into what my inventory transactions are and the sales and purchasing of things that happened in our company. And we sell this as a package for folks, but I did want to just show you, another thing that you could do. And again, this is, once you build it, you don't need any technical folks. It's all self-serve. You can do things like, set up processes like this budget process that we have in place. I can take last year's actuals and make budgets out of it. Once I do that, I can come in here and I can change a line by line what those budgets are. I can set dynamic variables, and we can do percentages across sales, COGS, freight, however we want to do it, and then use that as the basis for multiplying the actuals and having budgets. So there's some write back capability, again, which really separates board versus everything else. And then come in and put in your revenues and expenses, have an approval process that once I approve it, it gets locked down and no one can change anything anymore. So you'll see there's like a little approval process there. And if the right person has it, I can approve, reject, or reset it and allow people to open it back up, allow them to go back in and do it. The other thing that we can do is multiple scenarios. Once the data is in place, we can have multiple scenarios of the data, best case, worst case, Q2 adjustment. This is a partner of ours that I showed this software to, and they have, we could do a budget for them. So all different things that we could put in place, and board allows you to do it relatively easily and set it up. And the best part is to set it up for your end users to come in and self-serve and be able to become self-efficient and run these things themselves without having a ton of training and without having to constantly pulling in technical resources in order to make this happen. So that being said, I'll show you one other thing, and then we'll open it up for questions. And basically what we've done is we've tied together a bunch of information so that a company can come in and do whatever they wanted to do. So this was a budgeting module. There's a financials module that we put together that does a different level of financial reporting. And again, depending on who and what ERP systems you use, we work a lot with SAP and some of the Microsoft ones. That'll allow you to pull this information in and show folks what they actually have here. And what this is the year, and it's a month, and it's different segments if there are different segments. And what this allows you to do is to pull this information together and have the liabilities and all of these things in one place, and be able to look at what these things are, and in a way that gives accountants or financial folks or executives the ability to drill down and understand what I want to drill down and see, and look at the details, not only the high-level trends. So that being said, I am going to jump back to board, main menu here, and open it up for questions. Craig, is there any questions out there?
The first question that came in, just a reminder for you to, if you have a question, to type it into the panel on the right side of your screen. It says, how long does it take to get up and running with board?
That's a good question. It's a lot of different things. So what we've done, one of the reasons we built this prepackaged solution, and this one just happens to fit into SAP Business One, excuse me, but we can have this up and running in about 2 days. where we have this pre-built and we plug in and we pull it up and running for you. We do work for folks that are outside of the Business One space, and that really just depends on what they're trying to accomplish. We talked to some folks today that are looking to do call center statistics. So what we're going to do is, we're going to sit with them, plan out where the data is and how we pull it in. So it can be done relatively quickly. For some things like SAP Business One, we've purposely built some prepackaged solutions so we can speed that delivery. So and there's also board also has some the ability to have ODBC to Salesforce.com, and we can pull information out of Salesforce.com relatively quickly too, and build the dashboards out of the data that sits into that CRM package. So without any hard promises on something like this, where we do budgeting, financials, inventory, and purchasing, because it's prepackaged, we can have it up in 2 to 3 days, and so that's what we try to shoot for. If you're doing something outside of that ERP package, it certainly could take a little longer, but we could do it in steps and get you the information quickly, and that's what we try to do.
Okay, the next question, they're asking about pricing, user licenses in board, and its relation to user license in SAP.
Okay, so the pricing in board's different. I think, and it's good news from that perspective, because it is concurrent licensing. So there's 4 levels of licenses, and depending on who you are, you can contact us after the meeting. And if you're a partner's customer, I'd ask you to go to your partner, and they can provide pricing for you. If you're our customer, you can certainly come to us. But basically, just to talk about the license types, is a developer license, of which you only need one, and that's if you want to bring in more data and do developing and bring in more information and change what's in the background. There's a power user that if you want to just have someone who could paint and publish screens, that's a power user. And then there's 2 other types of users. One's a Light Plus user, which is a user that can view everything and enter data, like I showed you in the budget piece of it. And then there's just a Light user that doesn't have the data entry capabilities, but only has the ability to view and drill down and do all those things like I just showed you on the reporting side of it. So on the reporting component I showed you up front, all you need is a Light user to display that. To build them, you need at least one developer.
Okay, it looks like this might be the last question. How does it work in companies with various currencies? We have done that in a few instances, and there is a system currency and there's a local currency, and we've built views into both. And at the end of the day, we can report all in the system currency if there's multiple companies, or we can report in the local currency, or we can report in both, right? And we can show both. If someone wants to see the local currency view of it, we can, and system currency view, we can also. So that's typically how it's handled. If it was the system outside of SAP or something else, we have done some board work where we actually have some translation cubes where we can do based on the time and based on the financial, dollar to euro, dollar to pound sterling at that given time. We could do it monthly, weekly, daily. We can multiply it out and show you the dollars in that fashion also, or euros or pound sterling or whatever the currency is. Okay, it looks like we did get another follow-up question. Does it work with all versions of SAP Business One, or what is the minimum B1 version required?
Well, the board product itself works with every version of Business One, right? It will just work with any kind of database. So from a generic question, that's any version. This prepackaged solution, currently we have it running with 2007, 8.8, 9.0, and I'm not sure we have it on 9.1 yet. But so those are the versions that we actually have in place for customers live currently today.
Okay, it looks like we're right up at the 2:30 mark. I just want to let everyone know that we will be sending you a link to the recorded version of this, so if there's anyone in your company that you want to share this with, you'll be able to. And I don't know if you wanted to wrap anything up, Mark?
No, I just want to thank you for your time. And this is, you come across some technologies, over your career, and this is one that is really exciting to me. And I'm going to call it a game changer for our space, just because not only can we build things quickly and get it out to folks, but the adoption rate from our customers to be able to take it and run with it themselves has just out and out surprised me how well our customers have kind of run with it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mark, and thank you all for joining us today.
Have a great day.